Emmanuel Berbari alongside Chris Boccia, Jimmy Sullivan, Andrew Posadas, and Jackson Heil, wrapping up our time at Fordham and WFUV Sports. Guys, we've said it over and over, and I think we've had a really cohesive group here, but it's truly been an honor working with people as supportive and friendly and talented and warm as you guys are, and I'll never forget these 4 years, truly.
I will not either. I'll let Jackson butt in first. Jackson, you had something to say?
Oh, well, thanks. Well, first off, shout out to Bobby. That was his music choice. That was
he nailed it.
The lone one I didn't
Great
take
call,
tonight,
Bobby.
and he nailed
Great
it.
call.
I had something else in mind, but Bobby steered me in the correct direction.
Well, what'd you
and
have
as
in
he
mind?
says, that's why they pay him the big bucks. A little Life After You by Daughtry. Couldn't go wrong there.
That's a good
Another
one.
tearjerker. But, I think that song does put it great, though. It is the time of our lives, and I have a lot to say. I'll keep it tight right now, though. I will always remember all the moments we had. Of course, getting to cover so many different events is just unbelievable. And so many opportunities that they've provided us here at WFUV Sports, I'll never forget. But it's about the people for me. And you always remember the people. And I'll say that about anything I go through, but especially here because, you listen to what Ryan Rucco was saying before. It really is a brotherhood. It's a fraternity here. It's that type of operation. And from guys I met freshman year who were seniors, Matt Murphy, Tom Scabelli, Dan Diorio, James Corrigan, to all the way now to younger freshmen now that are looking up to us that we didn't get to see that much. But this class will never be able to. I'll never be able to put into words how much you guys mean to me, but this class is also probably the most unique class at FUV because no one had to go through what we have had to go through, especially over these last couple of years. From leadership change our freshman year to a global pandemic that basically took away so much of the reward that we were supposed to reap over these last year. But we made it work, and that was most important, and the friendships are what always will stick out to me. And I'm just thankful that we get to do this one more time in these last 15 minutes and be live one more time as we are able to send ourselves off.
I think about something that Mike Breen said to Jimmy and me. He to this day, he's Mike Breen, and his view of WFUV is it is his foundation, is what he called it, and that's all I can think of it as, and I will always think of it as. We're sort of at a strange point where we don't know what comes next, for many of us at least. What's the next step, or what's the step 2 years down the line, 5? It's unknown, and that can be a hard position of uncertainty. Whatever it is, though, these last 4 years have primed us for anything, no matter what I do. These 4 years will be this will be a reference point for everything else that I do, because they were 4 amazing years. And it's something that Ryan said, and I think all 5 of us were just listening to his wisdom there before we did this segment. We kind of got quiet here and just listened to Ryan and what he had to say. And he said he mentioned being a teammate, and that's how I look at you guys. I just genuinely just enjoy being around you guys and doing what we do together. We've created such a bond. It's beyond a friendship, right? You have relationships with your friends, but in this case, there's something different because there's family. We've worked together. We've done late night bus rides. We've done it all together. We've been on planes, and we've been in new cities together, doing this. And it's a very select group of people who have this experience. And we all know what it is, and we'll always remember it. That FUV will always bond us together.
I remember when I first got to Fordham, I knew about WFUV. I had an idea about the sports department, the history of it. But when I really started at WFUV, and I met a lot of you guys, honestly, my freshman year, I really didn't have a clue about how special this place was. When you go through it, and you meet the people like E-Man, Chris, Jackson, Andrew, Alex, who's producing for us. You meet the people, the dedication that they have is unreal. And I still think every day about, the upperclassmen who helped me. I had no clue what I wanted to do. I came in here, I said, I want to help. They're like, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. But they helped me out. They were insanely supportive. And, I tried to do the same junior and senior year, obviously through a pandemic. And it was very strange. But what I think about is the brotherhood and sisterhood of FUV and how it goes down generation to generation. You were talking about Mike Breen. He helped the people after him. The people after him helped the next people, and so on and so forth. And, what I hope is that the next generation of FUV can keep that going, can help the classes that come in after us, the people who we don't know who they are yet. And that is what is so special about WFUV to me, is that, yes, we had an unbelievable experience, got to do so many cool things, but we're just a small part of this huge history, this huge, fraternity of people who have come before us and who hopefully will come after us.
Beautifully said. Andrew?
Man, this is tough. For me, guys, this was a pipe dream. I came as a freshman, as a commuter. I was on campus enough to feel like I was a student at Fordham, but I wasn't on campus enough where I felt like I could fully immerse myself in the community. And that's why I didn't join FUV as a freshman. I was scared when you think about some of those names, Breen, Kay, Rucco, to know that those guys went to FUV. It startled me, and it made me go to the Fordham Ram newspaper first. But you know what? That was the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me, because I met two people who put me and brought me and guided me to FUV. One of them being Jack McClune, a former sports editor. Shout out to you, Jack. And the other guy being my guy here to the left, and Jimmy, and being the first guy really who kind of welcomed me and said, you know what? I'm going to introduce you to Bobby, and you're going to talk with him, and you'll get on staff assignments, and don't worry about it. And then that led me to meeting E-Man, meeting you, Chris, Jackson, and everyone, and then fully understanding that, you know what, everyone is here with one connection. We love sports. We love this business. This is what our passion is. This is what we look to do. This is our fervor. And for us, and for me, the experiences, 2020 and in March, and I remember doing that game with Dominic Capone and Isis Young. Charlie was there, Bobby was there at Barclays, and I swear I didn't really know that was going to be the last time I did anything until December, once basketball came back and we were able to come and do broadcasts again. But for everything that we've been through, we've stood so many trials and tribulations the last year or so, and for us to continue doing shows, even when there was no sports to talk about last summer, we were still putting out shows every Saturday. We were looking for new ways to kind of reinvent ourselves and to keep WFUV relevant. And so, E-Man, for me, this is something that, 5 years ago, I thought to myself, honestly, guys, I thought, you know what, I'd make a pretty cool gym teacher. That was my thing. I love sports. Why not do that? I didn't think that sports media was going to be it, but, thankfully for those of you, Bobby, everyone around who've kind of, welcomed me in, someone, who's always felt like an outsider as a commuter. I can't just thank everyone enough. It's been an honor, a privilege to share, these last few years with you. And my only regret is that I didn't get here my freshman year and just enjoy that extra year with all of you.
Yeah, Andrew, it's well said. And before I get into this point, I want to shout out, of course, the guy who makes it all happen, our sports director, Bobby Chaffardini, who's done an unbelievable job stepping into this situation the last few years and really growing the program and trying new things and reaching new heights. And Bobby always comes up with a new creative idea, and he's going to be someone I miss talking on with the phone basically 4 or 5 times a week for an hour or two at a time. I know I'll dearly miss it. And Bobby, we all appreciate you very much. But there are so many things we could talk about, right? We could talk about the games, the trips, the grind, the mornings on Saturday in the FUV studio as underclassmen. We could talk about all that. We could talk about the amazing opportunities we get to have at FUV. But I can really boil it down to one thing. Andrew mentioned it. March 2020. We basically have everything that we knew about FUV in our time and everything we kind of mapped out. And it was just kind of halted at that very point. And it was something so weird because we mentioned taking things for granted before. And you don't really view it in that light. Like, things could stop at any point. And you tend to think about the future way too much and what's to come. And for a second, we just had to take a step back and think about what was in the present. And I just remember us all coming together after several weeks of not doing one-on-one. We all came together on a Zoom meeting, and in the supportive manner of this teammate environment, of this friendship environment that we forged, we all came together, we butted heads, and said, we're going to make this work. We're going to find a different way. We all exchanged our own ideas. We all had a role to play in it, and we all made it happen. And we got one-on-one back in a virtual format, and then eventually back on 90.7, all the way to today, where we're doing our first live show in 14 months. So you can always dwell on the negatives of a given situation, but I look at the positives that amazing bond, that amazing relationship we made over the last few years came to a head there in building something that was way bigger than ourselves and overcoming a situation that I don't think many people could overcome.
And there were frustrations there, right? Like, I mean, everybody was frustrated, but we know we all just lived through. Doesn't stop with us. But we all had the common goal of making sure that the program survived and persisted and grew and got stronger. And I really believe that we've left it in better shape than you would have thought that after this year it took a slight decline, but we'll live. No, I think we did better. I think we upped the program, and special thanks to you, Emmanuel, who led it, and you,
big time.
Bobby as well. Bobby has been the kindest guy and an amazing guy to talk to over the last 3 years, I guess it would be, and someone who's been so supportive of all of us.
I want to throw it back quick to the guy in studio, Jackson Heil. Chris, you had a quick thought?
No. Go ahead. Throw it to Jackson.
I just want to throw it to Jackson because he deserves a lot of credit for this past year as
well. He does.
Right-hand man, assistant sports manager, and I think it's phenomenal. You know, some people you meet at FUV. I've known Jackson since 7th grade, and I've known you, Chris, for a very long time as well. We all came up through the same broadcasting camp at Chaminade. Shout out Pat Reichart.
Yes.
Also, huge shout out Bob Aarons.
Yes.
It's not possible today without the legend himself, but it's amazing. Like very few people get to go through this journey we've gone to go through at FUV. The percentage chance of it happening simultaneously with us two, us three, it's pretty phenomenal, and appreciate you, Jackson, for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, my eyes are watering as we speak, so I'm going to try to keep this as quick as possible so you don't hear me break down completely on the air. But I just do really want to say how much I love you all because, man, we've been through a lot here. We really have. And you look at so much of the adversity that we've had to go through over these past 4 years. I mean, it's been this way since we stepped on campus. I mean, I got to campus, I know, and the first day where you do like the career fair and whatnot, I found out that Bob Aarons was stepping down, and Bob Aarons is pretty much the reason I came to WFUV.
Correct.
But the way we've been able to handle everything that's happened, I wouldn't want to do it with another group of people. I seriously mean that, and that goes to you guys. It goes to Bobby, of course, who has done everything in his power to make sure that we've been able to be a part of this, and I stand in admiration. That's a phrase that Chris used on our last football broadcast, but I'm blown away by what we're able to do every day with this program. And E-Man, it starts with you, brother. And I know you were saying it before, but we've been best friends for a long time now, and I wouldn't want to do this with any other person. And that goes to you, Chris. That goes to you, Jimmy. That goes to you, Andrew. Alex, you're going to keep carrying it forward as well, but it's been a pleasure, and it's been one of the greatest of my life, and it's been the best 4 years of my life, and that's it, without a doubt.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jackson. Love you, and love working with all you guys. You guys are not only amazing teammates, but honestly, my best friends, and that'll continue for a long time. We may be wrapping a show here, but this is going to be an amazing friendship, collective camaraderie that continues. So thank you for those words, Jackson. Love you all, and thank you again. And I'll hand it off to a couple of you for final comments. Thank you again to Bobby Chaffardini for his leadership and carrying the mantle of FUV Sports, keeping the legacy that was built so strong. We couldn't have done it without you, Bobby, so we appreciate you.
And if I may just say, and Jackson kind of touched on it, and I love you guys as well, like brothers that I never had, but I truly believe this program is in outstanding hands with Alex Woles, the next sports manager, Kayla Wenzel, the assistant sports manager, the next assistant sports manager. This is a program that has gone through so much and so many years, and it's endured. And I have confidence that it will continue to do so. And I think we've left the place better than we found it. And I think in some ways maybe we even created something that wasn't necessarily here. And I think that's, you know, whenever you do something big like this, that's what you want to do. And I think we did that. I think we did.
Yeah, with everything that's happened in our journeys here at Fordham, for it to culminate with a live show, a senior show, 11-2, one-on-one, I don't think we could have it any other way. And I will just say this, fellas, if I had to go through what we went through back in March of 2020, I wouldn't want anyone else in the foxhole with me but you guys. I mean, we did everything we could to keep FUV, to keep the standard up, even with all the adversity. And I think that's something 5 years down the line, when we all look back at 2020 and 2021, I think wherever we're at in our respective careers, I don't know, hopefully we're all famous. That's what we're doing it for, right? But hopefully down the line, when we relook and revisit 2020, 2021, and just the entire 4 years of our journey, E-Man, I think it's something we can look back and be extremely proud of what we were able to contribute to such a historic program.
Guys, love you, all the best. I have an Arthur Ashe quote here. Success is a journey, not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome. It's been a privilege doing it with all of you, and we certainly did it.